Grand Rising, everyone. Mm-mm-mm. That has been such an insane weekend. I'll do the promo stuff later. I think I'll go back live later on. Hey, what's up? It's Tanaya. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Snapchat at Tanaya. That's DANAYAAZURE. Just came in here really quickly because I have not been live in about a week or so. And it's just been so crazy. So I just wanted to come on real quick and give an update. We had an amazing weekend when it came to Tier Cabaret. Shout out to Mike Davis and the entire crew. I cannot wait to show you guys the footage. We have so many pictures and videos that we are getting together so we can have the proper package to release TR to you all. So you can see the phenomenal group of people that we work with. So, like I said, I just wanted to come on super quick because it has been so insane. But we have a lot of things that are going to be coming up. Finally, going to be able to start doing the live streams. Um, where I'm creating jewelry live and selling it on air. So I'll be doing those pretty soon. Every time I've tried to, it's just been something, some kind of something that's come up. So I'll be doing that pretty soon. But yeah, it's been a very interesting weekend. I think a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into production, and I think that's the biggest issue. Is people don't understand how much work can go into a production, right? So all they do is think about, you know, what they hear about, not necessarily, but not necessarily. They don't know what happens behind the scenes, and I think I'm gonna try to get you guys more into that. But it's just a matter of kind of figuring it out and seeing what time, and seeing when we're able to really get into the live portion of it. Because y'all need to see what happens. Because that's the problem, is most people don't see what happens. And so they think that everything's so easy and this is that. And it's just everything's so perfect and all of that. No. There's a lot of stuff that goes into productions. There's a lot of stuff that goes into productions. There's a lot of stuff that goes into building a brand and all that. A lot of stress, a lot of managing your time, making sure everything's right, making sure costumes are there, building sets, all of that. Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. So I don't think you guys more in tuned with that. We do have some behind the scenes coming up to you guys get kind of a little heads up into it. I'm definitely gonna be doing some more rewinds in terms of just listening to old interviews and stuff like that as well. So look out for those. I think I'm gonna start with Don Lewis, the Don Lewis interview that we did, which was amazing. So I'm gonna be doing that for sure. Hold on 1 second here. Whew, child, is too much. I'm definitely gonna be doing that Don Lewis interview, and I'm gonna drop the Cherry Johnson. So I'll do that this week. Like I said, I've just been tired. I'm not gonna lie. I've been exhausted. There's been so much that we were doing, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I will say that much. I think the best part is when you're able to look and see your hard work go into. You can see what all the hard work that you've done be realized and seen by so many people that don't know you and be appreciated. That means a lot. It means a lot when you're able to say, "Hey, Ken, how are you?" when you're able to sit there and look at all the work that you've put into something, hey Cassie, and know that you did that. Know that you were a part of that. It's the best feeling in the world. Hey Huggy, how are you? You guys are coming this morning. So I was talking about, hey. Yeah, so what I was talking about real quick, we're just talking about what happened this weekend and what we're doing. Um, and Cassie are in the building. Make sure you guys follow them if you haven't already done so. If you're watching the replay, because they do amazing work. These are three phenomenal content creators that are definitely doing their thing for sure. And they're incredibly supportive of other content creators, which is so important right now. I haven't even gotten my chance to come on here and talk about my experience when it came to the whole finding out that Chadwick Boseman passed away. We were at the studio and we thought it was just like some basic um somebody killed a celebrity type thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know how we used to always say, oh, the celebrity died, but they didn't. We hoped that's what it was. And for me, this is really hard because I didn't see him in Jackie Robinson. I didn't see him in Thurgood Marshall. I gotta check that out. Um, but I did see him in Black Panther. And Black Panther for me was so important because it gave Black children, for the first time, it gave Black children of all shades value on screen. I do too. I do too now. I definitely do too. It gave Black children something to look to. Hey Cheryl, how are you? It gave Black children something to look to, right? It gave Black children a chance to look on screen. It gave dark skinned children a chance to look on screen and say that I can do this too. One of my favorite scenes is when the camera opens up and you see that sea of people and it's beautiful brown people. We're not selling drugs. We're not the fucking nanny. We're not the prostitute. We're standing there strong and proud. And the way that it uplifted Black women was such an amazing scene. I think all of y'all are new, so you don't really know the whole situation. The first time I saw it, I saw the premiere with some friends. We had like a whole group thing. We had planned it out, all that. But the next time I saw it, I saw it with my mom. At the time, my mom was dying of cancer. So Black Panther was the last movie that she saw, and for me, it's just like the fact that she died of the same thing that Chadwick Boseman passed of. It's pretty significant to me. Because people don't understand what it is to watch somebody go through that. To watch people go through chemo. I don't think people ever understand the experience of chemo and what it does to somebody's body. So to hear that people were actually making fun of him because he was sick, how do y'all feel now? How do y'all feel now that y'all are making fun of him because he was sick and now he's no longer here? What if your last thought about him was some ignorant roast because he was getting skinny and now He's no longer here. I say all the time that you need to be kind. I'm not just saying that to say that. I say it because it's important. I say it because you never know what someone's going through. He's been sick for a while. I guess he wrote it 4 years ago, but he made it very clear that he took those roles because he wanted to make an international impact. It's important. It's important to pay attention to. It's important to pay attention to people, especially when they're trying to uplift the community. And his intention was to uplift the community, not to just be on screen, because there's a difference. A lot of people will just be on screen just to be on screen. But he tried to uplift the community. He tried to help with his acting. He took his acting very seriously. I don't think people understand what it did for Black children to see so many Black people coming together. I think the best part of that was that the best part of Black Panther for me was watching how people came together to go to that movie. Watching how people came together, how people were throwing parties to make sure that that movie had support. And it broke box office numbers. It broke box office numbers to the point that they changed the rules again. Because I know every single time that we actually start making moves, that's when they move the goalposts. Why do y'all think that we can't check and see who was a troll and who isn't a troll right now? Because we were making moves and we were growing and we were thriving just a little too much. Because remember, we were doing those live streams. They were all just about connection and building. But YouTube, they want us to help each other. Yes, they want us to grow, but they want us to do it on their terms, right? So us being able to just go and click on somebody and go and support their channel right away was just a little bit too easy because they saw too many people growing that they weren't expecting to. Think about the whole thing of why we have to now only be able to go live on our phones when we get to 1,000. It's the same reason. Too many people were growing for the wrong reasons. People think that YouTube doesn't pay attention to everything. They do. They do. And they made it harder for smaller content creators to grow. They put all these restrictions, this 4,000 watch hours, this, getting to 1,000 in order to go live from your phone. They only did that because people were, hey Southern Belle, how are you? They only did that because people were getting, they were getting to their 1,000 on BS, on beefing. That's why they did it. Let's be clear. That's why they did it. Because they know that's how people are getting to the numbers quickly. People are still doing it. It's just they've made it harder. And I think it's sad that they did that, because what was beautiful about the way because every other platform doesn't do this. It's only YouTube, I think TikTok. I think it's YouTube and TikTok are the only ones that do that now. Facebook, you can go live no matter how many friends you have. But they want you to have 1,000 subscribers, no, to go live from your phone. But they also want you to get to 4,000 watch hours in order to be able to get paid. See, what's happening now is people are cheating. That's the problem. And you can tell people are cheating because their numbers will just skyrocket, but their comments won't. And it's sad to watch people cheat, because I've never done that. I've never bought followers, never bought likes, never bought clicks or views. I never had to. Never had to buy. Never had to buy my following. I mean, I understand a lot of people do it. I understand that, that's their prerogative, but I've never had to. I never want to get to the point where I have to, because I pride myself in knowing that I am able to grow on my own. I pride myself in knowing that I'm able to grow directly on my content. I pride myself in knowing that I did this because I was working for it. But the problem is people just want, it gets so obvious. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Like I can't do it. I can't do it. And I've definitely considered it. a couple of times I was like, oh, I can just buy the thing and be done. But no, I don't. Because you see people doing, you're like, well, they're getting away with it. It must be easy. But it feels much better when you see your piece go viral and you didn't buy shit. I think it's funny. It works. And rest in peace to Dr. Finney. He was a significant hate discovery, and that's how are you. Dr. Finney was an icon in the community in Chicago. He did a lot of things for the Black community, and he just passed at 82 years old. So he's lived a very long life. And I was working for him when I was working for Urban Broadcast Media. And I remember the very first time something that I shared in the page went viral. It was so freaking dope. So I was chilling, I saw this really awesome article, and it was about a Black man who would open an ice cream shop in New York. I literally, I shared in the page because it was, we're talking about just sharing dope stuff, sharing amazing pieces, phenomenal things that people are doing around the world, right? It's all about getting the news out. So share this article. I look up, it's got, 300 reach. I go back the next day, the reach hit like 100, I think it was 105,000, 103,000 was the first number. And that was just one day. And what was so beautiful about that was that I didn't expect it. But I love the feeling because I was like, wow, this is something that I chose. I'm finally figuring this stuff out. And then there were other articles that followed. Like I figured out what our niche was, and we went viral 5 times before I left. It's just a little bit trickier. You never know what's gonna hit. You never know what's gonna hit because people are flaky as shit. To be quite honest, like I had no idea my Chantel Moore video was gonna do what it did. I was like, whoa, all right. It's almost at 4. I think it's at 4K or almost at 4K. Chantel Moore, yeah, it's almost at 4K for sure. I think, and that's the crazy part about that video though. It's no editing; it's a straight video from from a private event that I went to. It was for the boss of bringing out Successive Sisters. It was a convention, and it was the 10th anniversary, and she just happened to be singing. And so I posted one of the songs, and that's the one that got the most views so far. Just dope. I think a lot of people don't realize when it comes to social media, when it comes to YouTube specifically, actually, the work that goes into that. And how hard people work to get their channels together, from the artwork, from editing, from creating the content, period. Right? There's this question of why we don't do a lot of edited content anymore. Imagine that you went out, you shot a piece, the shoot was like 10 hours, you come back. Now, the good thing is editing's gotten a little bit easier, but follow here. So you went out, you shoot a piece. The piece takes about 10 hours to shoot, roughly, but you've had multiple locations, multiple days. You come back, edit it, rendering, which is what makes when you render a video, that's what makes everything clear, puts it all together. It makes it so that people are able to watch it. So you're rendering the video. Now, mind you, you have the video, you have the audio. Gotta put the video. Gotta sync the video and the audio so that you don't have a situation where your video is looking like a damn how is it? What is it called? Like a Japanese film where the lips don't match the words. So you gotta make sure your videos are synced, right? So you got your video, you got your audio, gotta put that together, make sure that's all clean and that's all clear. So that's all nice and smooth. And then sometimes you gotta put music behind that. And then you gotta color correct. And that takes about 25 hours altogether. And then you're trying to upload it. And then all of a sudden it stops. I'm sorry, you're trying to export it. And then the thing stops. Gotta do that all over again. Start the process all over again. Do it a second time. Goes through. Mind you spend about 30 hours in this video. Upload it to a social media platform, typically YouTube. You're just trying stuff out, so YouTube isn't really paying attention to you like that, right? So you're not really in the algorithms and stuff, right? So at this point, you're at about 40 hours of work. Upload it for that video to get like maybe 100 views. And y'all wonder why we don't get value out of the content. Y'all heard me, you heard me say 40 hours of work, right? It's not that we don't give, we're not going to ever give you edited content. It's just the issue is the fact of the matter. The issue is the issue is the fact of the matter that we have so much work that we do behind the scenes, and it's so much easier to bring you content that's live and we can see the comments right then and there. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so much that we need to do. There's so much that we need to do. There's so much that we want to do. But we feel like we're hindered when it comes to YouTube. Because there's so many more restrictions. There's so many more restrictions that we have not only we've ever had before when it comes to this platform. Even the larger content creators are saying the same thing. YouTube has become something completely different from what it was originally. When YouTube first came out, you just uploaded whatever and had fun, and it was all about you. It was all about you sharing your life with the world. Yeah, that is true. Yep. That's what I hear from most YouTubers is that recorded videos will be your bread and butter. Yep, that is true. Depending on but think about it too though. They've also had their they've had their following for a while. They've grown. They were able to grow quicker because, like I said, the rules have changed. Recorded videos definitely are your bread and butter once you get to a certain level. But when you first start out, you have to do a combination. And the problem is, like I said, this is a YouTube thing too, because they give you more hours when you go live than they ever would when you're recorded, which is the weirdest thing in the world. But for whatever reason, that's what they do. I don't understand it. I really don't. It's really frustrating because it does take off the focus of recorded videos. It's crazy. I don't get it, but it does. But again, with YouTube has even made that process, the live streaming process, period, a lot harder. Because there are so many ways you can get flagged, and there are so many things people can do now. Like I said, the whole thing about not being able to see who's in your chat is hella frustrating. Hella frustrating. Because when you can't really tell who's in your chat, you don't know how to get the trolls out. And then you have people that are making troll accounts of people that you trust because they want people to fight back and forth, which makes no sense to me. Like, I really, really do not understand why YouTube took away the option to be able to tell who's a real person and who's not. That was the worst thing YouTube could have done. They did a lot of dumb things. That's definitely the worst thing that they could have done, in my opinion. because it stopped people from being able to really connect the way they could in the past. And if they fix anything, I hope they put that option back. Because what I've seen them do is you can only check if you go into your comment section, and then you can tap on it there. So, I don't know if their reasoning for it, if their reasoning for it was to make it harder, or if they just weren't thinking. I don't know the reasoning for it. I would love to figure out their reasoning for that mess. Because for me it made no sense, like whatsoever. But oh yeah, I mean you're gonna have to do recorded videos regardless. You can't simply go live the entire time. But right now, going live is what gets you the damn watch time hours. Unless your thing goes viral damn near. You have no choice but to go live. And the more often you go live, the quicker the watch time hours come. Like I said, it's weird. It's weird, and I don't understand it. But that's what they're chosen to do. It is their platform. They do whatever, and we kind of just got to work around it at this point. Um, you know what I mean? Like it's really about, so that's what I was saying. Like, man, we just kind of want to chill out sometimes and just do our content. It's usually a little bit harder because when you're a smaller content creator, you can't really. Hold on. There's a Chrome extension that allows you to click the name in the stream. I'm not sure what it's called, but I've heard about it though. If you could find out what it's called and you would comment that in this video, that would be amazing. Because I heard about it too. I'm gonna try to Google it, but we'll see. But if you could find out what it's called or what content creator put the video out and put just just put the name underneath this video, that would be awesome. Because like I said, the problem is that we shouldn't have to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to try to figure out how in the world do we find out who this person that's in our chat and why are they talking mess and this and the third, and we're like, is that the real person? Wait, no, that can't be the real person. That's gotta be a troll. Then you start questioning people and thinking something crazy and getting into arguments with people when you don't even have to, and you have to rethink uh, what was their tone and what did they do, and is anything different with their picture? Child. Child. This is just crazy. It's absolutely insane. It's insane the work that we put into our channels and our contents. It does get frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, it does get frustrating at times. But you just continue to work. You just continue to grow. And it's only gonna get better. I think the one thing that I will say about this platform that I absolutely love is when we work together, it's so beautiful. I love seeing panels. I think that's one of my favorite things is seeing panels because of the vibe that people get on screen. And you can just see the energy when it comes together, especially when it's like a nostalgia panel, just talking about TV shows and things like that. Hey, Alondra, Yolanda, how are you? It's just fun. It's just fun, and just watching people build relationships and online is so beautiful to me. You know, I saw caught the very end of the Brandy and Monica verses, and people were like, "Oh, it was born this and the third." Well, that's y'all. For me, it was awesome because it brought me back to my childhood. It brought me right back to my childhood, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful because I was coming home and I was in the bus and I was just literally sitting there just um hey, yes, thank you, Yolanda. I'm listening to you. I was coming home from the studio and I was sitting there and I was rocking out on the bus like crazy. And it was just awesome to see everyone in the comments. Nobody was fighting, they were just chilling, listening to these phenomenal, iconic women just killing it. You know, and kind of just and even just watching them. Like I said, I must have came at the end because they were like, "Oh, there were awkward moments." I didn't see that by the time I got in there. All I saw was people rocking out to each other's music and having fun and just enjoying the moment. So I guess when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's people's perceptions, right? Some people didn't like it because they're like, "Oh, Monica was, you know, wasn't very receptive," and this and the third. And I'm like, I guess that I must have came in late because by the time I got there, she was receptive. She was rocking out to. They were both rocking out to each other's music and all of that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what. Um. Yeah. I just don't know. I don't understand. I'm like, and then they got. I think it was like a million something um views on that, and it was awesome. It was beautiful. It was incredible. It was a moment. That was a really cool moment. You know, the Joe Scott and Erykah Badu versus was a really cool moment. Like I said, maybe I'm just different. Maybe I just like being in chats and just seeing the love. Maybe that's part of it too. I think because like I used to do Periscope back in the day. I think the best part about Periscope for me was when we would do the heart party. And what a heart party was, you would pick a content creator randomly and just go in there and just throw them a whole bunch of hearts. Because at the time, you were trying to get to, you know, a million hearts was the goal, right? That was the goal, was a million hearts to, and that showed that you loved and supported one another. I think I really just come from a different area when it comes to social media and the way that we grow and thrive on here. Maybe that's just it. Maybe that's just it. I'm used to people building relationships. I'm used to people. Um, I'm used to people building relationships. I'm used to people thriving. I'm used to people growing their brands, helping one another. this whole thing is new to me, the way people are using YouTube to tear each other down. That's different for me. Like I heard about it before. Like I've heard about it on Instagram, I've heard about it on Facebook, but the way things are happening on YouTube is just very, very, very different. It's very weird. it's it's very odd. It's very, very odd. It's very, very odd. It's very, very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. It's very, very just weird. Fuck it, it's just weird. I don't get it. I don't. We get so much more done when we build each other up. We get so much more accomplished. I'm telling you. If y'all could let me see if I can find I'm gonna see if I can find one. I can find one of the heart party videos and what we did. So like what was I don't even know how to build that kind of thing on here. if it's even possible. But other thing we did was called the Perry Train. What basically was you there's a line of content creators and everyone gets 15 minutes and they we go from chat to chat to chat. Everyone does one topic. You go from chat to chat, talk about the same topic, and people in the comment section showing love and all that. And then the content creator, once they finish, they bring in the next content creator, and it goes on for about maybe an hour, hour and a half, and it's literally about showcasing each other on everyone's platform. That's it. Like I said, I don't know if we can build that kind of thing on here. I'll look to doing that more later on, maybe. But it's just really, really. It was just awesome to see. It was awesome to see. It basically, oh, actually, I think it's the equivalent. Well, actually, it's like the raid they have on here now. So it's kind of the same thing. Where they have people where they raid content creators channel and like be like, okay, let's all go watch somebody who's live kind of deal. But the difference was, and I wish YouTube had a way to do this. The difference was people would be going live, kind of chilling out. You never know what's happening. Then a flood of hearts would come in, and watching the reaction of that content creator was just insane. Watching them light up was the best feeling in the world. Because I know there would be some days where you go into that content creator's chat and they're just kind of doing it, just to be going live or whatever. Because they're bored or whatever, and you can just see them light up and look how people actually tear up and all of that. And it was just dope. It was just fucking dope to see how people work together when they build each other up. That's a major. I don't know if YouTube can ever get to that point. Because I don't know if they're going to allow us to get to that point. I think that's the sad part. That seems like every time we find something that we can do or we can build one another up, they move the goalposts and make it harder to build relationships on here. I don't understand it. Last time I checked, a click in a view was a click in a view, but I don't know. I don't understand why certain people are still allowed to be on here. Like, if you've done things, especially when it comes to this whole COPPA thing, like if YouTube got in trouble because of the fact that if YouTube got in trouble due to the fact that children were being harassed on here, children were, people were advertising the kids, and that was the issue, and that was the whole purpose for creating, what the hell is it? Creating the YouTube app. Creating the YouTube Kids app. That was the whole reason. Where they're still not correcting the problem, right? So the only time they correct the problem is if you see your video is for kids. I've seen what happens. When your video is for kids, when you say your video is for kids, you lose your community feed, you lose your comment section, and you can't even chat. But at the same token, there's still people on here who have not just been accused, but there's evidence of them being a pedophile. So I'm confused on how with YouTube is just supporting it. But from what I've heard, they're just saying, oh, well, they're just trying to give them enough rope to hang themselves. I get that, but at the same token, you're taking people's channels away. That had done nothing to that. Nothing to that extent. So I think it's more of a question of trying to figure out what YouTube is on. Because at this point, I don't understand it. At this point, I'm confused. At this point, I'm just like, okay, wait. So from what I gather, you're saying that, we don't want anything with kids and this and that and the third. But then you're letting people that are known to be approaching children on here continue to be on here. Like I said, YouTube, didn't y'all just lose a whole bunch of money for this? Did you not just lose a whole bunch of money for this? Like, I'm confused. Did you not just lose a whole bunch of money for this shit? It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. It's an absolute freaking mess. Just hella frustrating. It is just hella frustrating because YouTube go back and forth on what they want. No, there were a whole bunch of videos that were up here that were talking about people when it came to coronavirus, and they took those down. And yes, some of them are completely wrong, but some of them weren't. And I get it because, at times people get on here and they'll just say whatever just to look in the view. But at the same token, there are people that give valuable information in return of trying to tell people what to do to heal their bodies. And those videos got flagged as well, from what I understand. The one thing that I will say as a smaller content creator, I don't worry too much about that shit, because since I'm not monetized yet, they're not gonna be like, oh, you said coronavirus, we're gonna take your video down. They don't care as much right now. If I say pedophile, they're not gonna care. Once I get monetized, this thing it might be an issue, but right now, I'm not gonna stress on that. But I think the problem is the fact of it's not even that they're taking away our free speech, is that they're getting so restrictive that people are afraid to speak up. People are afraid to say anything. It's not just happy go lucky. The bigger content creators have said the same thing. That's why a lot of them left the platform. Notice how many larger content creators have made all this money for YouTube and are gone now. Just saying. There are a lot of content creators on here that have just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm over it. It is. So, so we'll see what happens. We would definitely see what happens and see how this works. I mean, you never know what the future's gonna hold. You know what I mean? You never know what the future's gonna hold when it comes to social media, period. But that's also why it's important to build your relationships offline. Because you never know what's gonna happen to these platforms. And the way that you build your content, by doing things that you like. Talk about things that you like. We've had this conversation about, a content challenge. I think we really should do that. Because I'm gonna try to get on here more. Actually, I have more time because our show went really, really well. Really, really well. Wait till y'all see these videos. We were trying to go live yesterday, and it just got too late to do it. But yeah, oh my goodness, it's gonna be such an amazing, amazing. Just yeah, I'm excited. I am so excited to see what happens. I'm so excited to see what happens. So excited. But yeah, right. And I think what was so dope about this weekend was we booked the sets. Some of the girls did their own costumes. They did their own makeup. And it was just a Black Girl Magic weekend. And there's nothing like it. There's nothing like seeing women come together and do something beautiful. Doesn't matter what platform you're on. So they'll be releasing stuff on their YouTube channel very, very soon. And once they do that, I'm definitely gonna make sure that I come on here and send you guys the link and share it out. And we'll be watching some stuff together, giving them their quick and their review and all of that. So as soon as those videos drop, I promise you, the minute those videos drop, I will be on here and I will be sharing that and sharing the links so you guys can all go subscribe and support. Because when I say this, not to me, all the time, all the work, all the efforts that I put into these shows, and we had people come out for both. We had to have 2 shows on Saturday because so many people were interested in coming out, and we had to social distance, and we social distance, wear masks, and the people that came out were happy because they were able to just come out and relax and have fun and see a great show. Ciao. I just really hope this week It's productive for everyone. Um, I just want people to understand the power of social media and start using it to build one another up. That's it. Now, don't get it twisted when you have to say something and you have to correct somebody because they're lying and cheating and scheming. Of course, you have to do that, but at the same token, there's no reason why we can't build each other up at the same time. There was a question. There was this. There was a conversation yesterday, right? Was it yesterday? Or maybe it was 2 nights ago. Talking about what do we call the area of YouTube that we're in. People call it the beef sector. Lord, I hate that term. Lord, I hate that term. Oh, I hate that term. I'm gonna tell you why I hate that term. Because that's not what we do. That's not what we do. Like, that's literally not what we do. Like, I don't even understand how that became the term. Because there are arguments and fights and stuff all over YouTube. So how we became the quote unquote beef sector, I don't even understand how that occurred. I really don't. I don't know when it got to that point. I don't know why people are entertaining that part. Like, I don't understand when it got there. A little roasting and gagging isn't too bad, but the way this situation has gone is insane. Let's be very, very clear. It's gotten to the point where it's just freaking insane and overwhelming and a whole freaking headache. Hello, Kendra. How are you? No, you're good. Oh, no. Kendra, you are golden. No worries. But yeah, the way that people have gone about when it comes to this youth sector, and that's just how it is, and yada yada yada. People coming up here and bringing family into things. What? Like, that's not cool. I'm sorry. I've never approved of that. If you have not asked to be on here, your photos, your name, the things should be on here. They're content creators for a reason. They're subscribers for a reason. Subscribers are kind of just chill in the background or whatever, just want to watch. People send their docs and subscribers. What? Like, come on, now that I have the content creators, they're just here watching, chilling. Like, I don't even understand that. Sometimes they're modding because they're making sure, like, y'all do realize that mods are there to help people's channels grow, right? Like, so let me explain to you what modding is. I think people are confused. So mods are like the gatekeepers. They're the ones that help to get the trolls out. They're the ones that help to have people drop links and things like that, right? They're there to kind of, keep the interaction going. That's it. Like, that's what a moderator is supposed to be doing. They're moderating the conversation. They're having fun. They're, helping to build the relationships, helping to get the message out. All of that, right? It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane what we are doing when it comes to what we're doing when it comes to whether we treat each other on here. I don't get it. Period. I don't get it. And yes, some people will say, "Oh, well, that's just how it is." No, that's not just how it is. That's not how it should be. But for whatever reason, That's what everyone wants to see. I don't supposedly I don't get it. I do not get it. I will never understand it. When people say, well, you were part of oh shit. They wanna know how I'm a part of this whole situation? Because I don't like people being lied on. Let's be very, very clear. The whole reason I got a part of this whole section was from helping someone else out. Met one person, was told to watch one person, changed my entire YouTube life. Because that person decided to try to kill themselves. And it just went fucking down from there. Because I connected with people in her chat. And I defended people in her chat. You know, that's the funny part about this whole thing. I got into this sector by defending people. Like I do in my real life. And standing up for truth. Like I do in my real life. In my real life, the one thing that, well, hell, if you watch my channel, you know. I've been involved in protests and advocacy since I was a kid. So doing the same thing on here, that's nothing to me. I do the exact same thing on here that I do in real life. I do the exact thing on here that I do in real life. I think it's hilarious. I think it's absolutely hilarious how some people will have a different persona on here than they do in real life. Completely different. Like, I don't understand how you can lie to people about who you are and what you do and think people aren't going to find out. Or pretend to be so caring and loving and only wanting to help and then shading people on the back end. It's only a matter of time before people find out for real. It's only a matter of time before people find out who you really, really are. No questions, all truth. So if you're on here and you're lying about who you are and you're trying to play games and act like you really care and this is so important to you and you're only trying to help people, but then you're scheming and laughing at people in the background, it is only a matter of time before you reveal yourself. It's only a matter of time before you slip up on the channel where you're trying to shade, where you're trying to be so quote unquote helpful and reveal yourself. No one even has to dox you because you're going to dox yourself at some point because you're going to get tired of playing the role. So when you get tired of playing the role, it's going to come out. By the way, it's come out a couple of times, so people just haven't noticed it. I did, but most people hadn't noticed it. But like I said, it's about supporting and building people up, not claiming that you're going to and then completely lying. I do blatantly lying. Because, whew, child. Mm, mm. Blatantly lying. And then laugh. But I think that's the worst part is you're lying about who you are, then laughing in the background. Well, not in the background, online actually. But you're going somewhere else to lie and laugh and kiki. Oh, what you've been doing to people? Really? So we think that's a good idea? You really think this is a good idea to come over here and act like you care and let's all get together and let's all work with one another and let's try to change some things. But then go back to another channel and just laugh. Whoo, child. Ooh, ooh. Again, I'm all about supporting one another. And I'm literally only here because the same stuff I do in my real life when it comes to advocating for people, I do online. That's it. That's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. And I don't think we even have to get out of the sector. It's more about getting it to the point where people just get tired of the mess and want to build each other up. And it'll happen. You know, I think it was so funny. We were in James Caldwell's chat yesterday, and he was talking about how he has the masks, and every time that there's some content creators that every time he drops a mask, they get it. That's what I'm talking about. Watching him, watching his reactions is be like, man, these people are totally supportive. Like every time I drop a mask, they get it. Every time I do something, every time he does something that he works for, something that he is good at, that he puts his time and his effort into, people show love. But I'm sure that took years of work to build that. Too many people just want to quote unquote, get to the bag by lying, cheating, and scheming instead of putting in the hard work to do so. And then laugh at us that do. I got you. But I'm gonna just wait. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just going to wait until you're forced to prepare yourself. You know, I think it's really, really funny, and I'm glad it's only a couple people in here because they'll remember when I say it. I think it's really, really funny that people honestly think they can lie to people's faces and get away with it forever. And if you just happen to be in the bushes, or if you happen to know someone that's in the bushes, I need you to know this. you might want to watch your step because I know exactly who you are. And if any more things that come up with children happen in your chats, everyone will. And you have a lot of explaining to do. Because it was all good until you brought kids into it. Don't bring kids into your little game. Don't bring kids into your little game. Because that's where you messed up with me. That's why I was like, who is this person? This is insane. You can't just sit up there and lie and cheat and steal under false pretenses. That's unacceptable. Do what you want, have fun, messy, I don't care. But leave the kids out of it. It's the funny thing about smaller content creators is that we watch everything. And I do mean everything. We watch it with news and all of that. Again, don't get it twisted. I'm choosing to be a smaller content creator. I got a lot and cheating my way out here. There's no reason for that. Because when I get to my 1K, it's going to be a whole celebration because I already know what I've worked for. I already know what I've done. And there's no question about that. However, you lied, cheated, manipulated, took over people's platforms, disrespected women on multiple occasions. Nothing wrong with that. See, the funny part is you go in and out of your character, but don't even realize it. Because on the other channel, they're starting to mix way more than you thought. I mean, I'm still but the funny part is I'm confused on why you just won't be honest. Maybe, I mean, at some point you'll say it and say it was all an experiment, this and the third, and all that. But people don't like being lied to. People don't like being scammed. I'm just saying. People do not appreciate being lied to and being scammed. That for sure. That is for damn sure. Like I said, yeah, you might want to watch your step. Because how I might even have to do it. Somebody else might do it first. Well, somebody else has done it. But that person is a known liar. So no one believes them anymore. Don't even know if you've seen proof. Or maybe, or they probably didn't notice it or pay attention or whatever. But I did. So remember, I'm an advocate, period. Whether it be online, offline, have your fun, do your kikis, have a blast. But please leave the kids out of your little game. Because it is a game. Like I said, I would love, I might watch that interview. Just might watch that interview just to see what happens. Mm. But know this. I'm on to you. I'm on to everything that you're doing. So, yeah. I'm on to see everything that you're doing. And I would love to have a conversation. But of course, I'm sure you won't do that. Because that would force you to reveal some things. Because the funny thing is, you sit over there on your platform and act like you care so much. And yeah, occasionally you get mad, this and that, third, whatever. Hey, Deanna, how are you? How are you, Miss Lady? I was telling people earlier about the event we had this weekend. We're waiting to drop the footage, and it's gonna be, oh my god, wait till y'all see this. From the costumes to the set design to everything, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. We were gonna go live yesterday, but it took too long. So, but once we get the videos up, I'll make sure I go live on here so you guys can actually see it. I might go live later on, anyways, to show some stuff. So, yeah, because I have the Don Lewis interview that I want to drop, so I might go live later on and drop that. Because there were so many gems that were dropped in that interview. Like, oh my goodness, so many gems that were dropped in that interview. Yeah, I decided to go live. There's like a little basic conversation. I was talking about the connection that the whole Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman passing, and how that was so hard for me because he passed at the same thing that my mom passed of, and that was the last movie that my mom saw was Black Panther. Because on my on Facebook, my profile picture is the shot of me and my mom at Black Panther, and so it was so crazy to see that they had the same disease. And to know that I know my mom went through, so I know he went through it. Like he was going through chemo and still able to do all that. That took some strength because chemo will knock you out. My mom used to come home and she would just fall out after some treatments. Because it was like 2-hour treatments, right? So she'd be in the office and she'd knock off a little bit there, but then she'd come home and just completely fall out. And then when it came close to the end, she literally was like sleeping maybe 18 hours a day. But that's kind of when we knew how crazy it was getting. Because she got to the point where she was just sleeping. And when it got to that point, we knew something wasn't right. And so we were trying to change medications and Sometimes it would help, sometimes it wouldn't. I think the hardest part for me when it came to that whole situation was the fact that um, when mom was going through chemo, at first everything was great. You know, she hadn't lost her hair, she had more energy, and then it just slowly deteriorated from there. Like her numbers were and like her like it was helping. Thank you. Please like yeah, if you haven't already done so, please like this video. If you have not already done so, please like this video. I haven't even said that, child. I'm so out of it. I'm so out of it today. It's been a long weekend. I'm exhausted. It's been a long weekend. It's been a long weekend. Child. This has been insane. But yeah, so she'd come home and her hair was fine for a while. I have some shots where she you go through the video that I had actually at the memorial of her. You can see her shot where her hair is just nice and long. Her braids are there, whatever. And I know she had when she changed drugs, that's when her hair started falling out. And we had the conversation, did you want to wear a wig or this and the third? And she just chose not to, and she chose to keep her head bald. But she just kept head wraps on. So nobody even knew. Unless it was family. Because we weren't really going out like that anyways. Unless it was a family event. But to know, like, just to see what Chadwick Boseman was able to accomplish while being under the care of all those doctors. Because when you are going through cancer, depending on what stage you're in, you have to go through so many doctors. You have to get your stent put in. Like, that's the crazy part. Because you have to have a stent put in. You have to have a piece that goes into your chest in order for you to get your chemo treatments. So they covered that stent up really well. You want me to wear a bald cap? A bald cut? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, she cut everything off. She cut everything off. And she's beautiful regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like she had a point. It was so funny because she had a point years ago where she decided to cut her hair, and I cried. I was so upset. But she had a breakdown or whatever, and so she cut her hair and whatnot. She's like, I just want to release. I was like, a release? Wait, what? What do you mean? And I was like, oh my Lord, are you kidding me? But I grew back, you know. But I have so many dope memories of my mom, but like that moment was that will be ever etched in my mind because we got to see something iconic together. We got to see something that killed the box office together. And now she gets to meet him, you know, on the other side. I hope she remembers this and like chopping it up and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's fun. Whew, child. Yeah. But I'm gonna get out of here. I've been on here for almost an hour and a half. Kind of just run my mouth, changing topics and all that fun stuff. I'll be back later. I'm gonna do I don't know what time. So I gotta figure that out sometime this evening, I think, child. I'm gonna get a schedule, I swear. I just haven't been able to. It's been so much going on. I'm gonna get a schedule at some point. Cause I do these damn hours of I have 1.3 on 1K, yeah, 1.3K watch 10 hours. Ugh. I'm like, can we just go by minutes? But it's all good. I'm gonna just start going live more. I keep on saying it, but that shit happens. Damn it, look. Or I'm on live, doing something else or whatever. So, but I'm gonna get back to my channel and get back to having y'all watch your content, all that stuff. The memories live forever. The memories live forever. One quick thing before I get out of here. The memories do live forever, but it doesn't make it any easier. And I think that's what people don't realize. It does not make it any easier. Like we had the show this weekend, and I was just overwhelmed because I still get to the point where I'm just like, we have production issues. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a production. You're having issues. People aren't listening. Things aren't acting right. Don't get it twisted. Everything went well. There were little problems. Hey, Ken. Yeah, still on for a little bit. And all I want to do is call mom and just because I used to. All I wanted to do was call my mom and just tell her, "Oh my God, this is crazy!" Yeah, because I remember when I was in Kentucky a couple years ago before she passed, and it was so funny because I was sitting here like, "Oh my goodness, these people are driving me nuts." What the hell? This is insane. Because she used to produce shows, so like she can totally feel me. Because I remember, it was we did shows like around the city, and so when we had the uni celebration, not museum celebration. I'm sorry, it was the centennial celebration. That's what I'll do. I'll do the Don Lewis stuff later, but that's what I did tonight. Is I'm gonna show you guys some of the old shows, so you can kind of just get a vision of what we've done. Just a little taste of what we worked on and what we've accomplished. And child, when I say we had people come up from around the country to do that show, and we had more support from around the country than we did from our own freaking city. Yeah, it's really insane how quickly people will turn on a Black woman trying to do something positive. And it was crazy because the people that were in our that were supposedly in our camp, right? That were performing. Hold on, what? Nothing much. Oh no, see, Deanna just don't. I can't with you. Deanna said no. I cannot. Like I said, it's really insane what people will do when a Black woman trying to do something positive. The lengths that they will go to. The lengths that they will go to make changes or not make changes. It's nuts. The lengths that they would go to hold something back, to not support. When I say these bitches didn't even want to sell tickets, we fired them all afterwards. Don't get it twisted. But they didn't even want to sell tickets to their own performance. Mind you, Mom made the costumes. We made the whole freaking backdrop. And these bitches didn't want to sell tickets. All you had to do was sell tickets because they thought we were making too much money. Now, mind you, we were doing balling on the budget. Feel me? Balling on the budget, going off of what we worked for to get this done. But they're too busy counting our pockets. What is you talking about? What? That's the bullshit that I'm talking about. That's a constant situation. See somebody trying to build something up and do dope stuff, and all you want to do is bring it down because it wasn't your freaking idea. And the funny part was, didn't nobody else do anything? Nobody else did anything to that caliber since. And that was 1993. All y'all sitting up there trying to stop something and stop the bag and this and the third. What the fuck is y'all doing now? Nothing. Not a motherfucking thing. Outside of Darlena, outside of Layla, outside of let's see, there are a couple others. Shout out to Shakira. because Shakira was dope as hell. Shakira was a dope. Her is a dope ass belly dancer in Ohio, and it was so funny. The last time we went to Ohio, people was talking about Shakira, and they weren't talking about the singer. They was like, oh yeah, the real one. And Shakira is the real one. Sorry, because Shakira is a beast when it comes to the hip movements and body language. She killed it. Period. Point blank. The dancer Shakira, the singer Shakira came after the dancer. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. The singer came later. The dancer was there first. And the dancer made an international impact as well. She's just not mainstream. I cannot. Deanna, I cannot. She is so not. Y'all are bad. Oh my God. Deanna, if y'all don't know Deanna Irvin by now, y'all haven't followed me long enough. Because honey, Deanna is a trip. And she be on here just taking people's, ooh. Mm-mm-mm. She was not just edges this weekend. Hell, this whole weekend was insane. I was going crazy. I was in and out of chats and whatnot. Because like I said, we had a whole production we was doing. But this whole week, y'all just been going nuts. Like I said, I don't start anything, but I will defend it. There are lies that are going on. And there are still lies that are going on. People still trying to make appearances from the dead and shit. So confused by that situation, but okay. I ain't even got to deal with that because all things will be revealed in that situation as well. Fuck it. Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? It's nuts. The pimping. Oh Lord, what did you do? Pimping links. What did you? Oh yes, I did. Yep, I sure did. I did check those out. I don't believe in ghost child. Not on these YouTube streets. I don't either. I'm like, how you trying to come? Like, I'm confused. How do you try to come back from the dead and then come back with a hit list? But anyways, you came back from the dead and came back with a hit list. What? What? A lot. Not same old, same old. You were trying to come back from the dead and things. That's it. And lie and cheat and steal as usual. You do realize that the reason that you're in the predicament that you're in now is because you lied to people. Child, I know. You've all been in my head. Trying to, shoot. But Food Junkie, shout out to Food Junkie. If y'all haven't seen that live, it was a late night live, and Food Junkie was spilling so much tea. So much tea. Food Junkie was spilling so much tea. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. I was getting my entire life. I guess it's fun to, kind of kick back and have a little bit of drama, but y'all been cutting up too much. Y'all been showing up and showing out. Because I'm all for the drama and the little kiki a little bit, but y'all trying to get yourselves hurt in real life. That's where I have a problem. Y'all trying to get yourselves hurt for real. Because you keep messing with people. And when you keep messing with people, eventually somebody gonna get tired. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nah, there's not, yeah. But in the same token, you just, when you have the proof, you just gotta, you don't gotta respond, you just show proof, you don't gotta respond. Don't even gotta do nothing. Yeah, Eddie Guerrero from the lie. So this is Eddie Guerrero from wrestling, lying, cheating, stealing, right? Yep, pretty much. Yep. Yeah, that's what she said, Eddie Guerrero. Like, exactly. Lying, and she said Eddie Guerrero, child, lying and cheating and stealing. Yep, Eddie Guerrero still lying and cheating. sailing, child. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess because there's no reason for it. I don't know if she's bored or she's trying to climb back to the top. I don't freaking know. But there's no coming back from that. There isn't. There's no coming back. No coming back from that at all. Not at all. It's insane. It's absolutely in freaking insane. Child, mm-mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. And they got people, wait, they're not, right. I mean, I hope not. I hope they ain't doing that. Well, some people are. Some people are trying to call the police in real life, and that's another thing too. For everyone, this is in general. Why in the world are y'all calling the cops when you were the one that was wrong? That doesn't make any sense. Because what happens then, let's just put this in perspective. Let's say one day you make a false claim on someone and the cops do come and they're just in one of their moods and don't really care what the truth is, and they don't even ask questions, but they shoot first. What are you gonna do then? Like I really need people to think about that. What are you gonna do then? What are you gonna do the one time that you call the cops just to be messy and just to, you know, see if you can get that person in trouble? And the next thing you hear is the cops went to the house under false pretenses and harmed someone. What are you gonna do then? How are you gonna feel then? But it was all just a kiki. It was all just a joke. We're all having a good laugh. Is that really what it's gonna take though? Like, let's think about this. Is that really what it's gonna take? Is you actually going to someone's house? Or you actually have send the cops to someone's house and they harm them? Is that where you're gonna find out how real the situation is? Child, I keep trying to tell you. I keep trying to tell you. This is a dangerous game you're playing. It's a very dangerous game. Some of these cops don't care, and that's why this game is so dangerous. They shoot first and ask questions later. Imagine, now, think about, can you live? Can you have on your conscience knowing that your call sent someone to jail unfairly or got someone killed because you wanted to kiki and get back at someone? So you lied on them. Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that fucking question. And if you can see you're comfortable with that, then keep on doing what you're doing. But if you're not, you might want to stop. And this is for everyone that's falsely calling on police. Now, if these people are threatening you for real and have doxed your address and all that stuff, and they're calling the cops because you are doing so they have a record of it just in case something happens, that's one thing. But if you're just calling just because somebody's getting more views or some shit, you're playing with your life, you're playing with someone else's life. And what is the point in that? How is that helping anyone? Whew, child. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh, ooh, child. But anyhow, I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna go support Bless because I've been on here way too long. But like I said, getting those watch time hours up and stuff, because gotta get those watch time hours up, right? Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm gonna come back on here later on, and I'm either gonna have the Down Loose interview or I'm just gonna do some. Just go to memory lane. Let you guys see some of the dance stuff we did. So, but anywho, follow me on social media. Danaya Azure, that's DANAYAAZURE. All the links that you need are below in the description. If you haven't already done so and you're on the replay, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me, will ya? So we are definitely on our way to 1K. We are at 800 and almost 810, I think. So we're on our way. It's coming. And like I said, when I hit 1K, I cannot wait because you guys get to see so many amazing things. Finally. Shout. First of all, I'm cutting YouTube out because I'm gonna be like, y'all made me do all this to get back to sharing what I do, and that was the entire purpose of the channel. Ugh. I'll be happy because I can take you guys with me when I do go out of town because I will be going back to Vegas at some point. Won't be doing as much, but if we're going back to Vegas, I do have photo shoots and stuff that I want you guys to see. So, where I can kind of, and then we're not going to have as many events, but there definitely will be more jewelry showings and all that kind of stuff. And this BTS stuff that is so much fun. I'm so excited. Hell, at one point I was like, well, should I just buy the damn thing? I really did. I really was considering it for like 2 seconds because people do it and get away with it. But then again, my integrity kicked in, and I was like, nope, we're not gonna do that. We are gonna make sure that we get to our 1K and we do it with integrity and we don't do it by lying on people and cheating and stealing. Doesn't mean I'm not going to defend people when I need to, because I will continue to defend people when I need to. Because again, I don't lie, cheat, and steal, and I don't like people that lie, cheat, and steal. So I will correct you in a quick minute. You lie, cheat, and steal. I'm the person that's currently lying, cheating, and stealing under false pretenses. Like I said previously, which you gotta go a little far back to hear it. I know who you are. I know exactly what you're doing. And I would advise you to leave kids out of your little game. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and support Bless Watkins right now. And that's another thing. When I when I get to my 1K, I can finally get my community feed, and you guys can see all the awesome stuff my friends are doing. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that is gonna happen once that 1K hits. And I have a couple little giveaways, that stuff too. A couple sponsors I'm gonna reveal. Yep. So, but anyways, ta-ta for now. I'll be back at some point. Yeah, just watching people going live or being in the chat supporting because that's what they do. I show love and other people's chats and don't be causing drama and shit. And lying and cheating and stealing and being disrespectful and all this fake mess for clicks and views. All things will be revealed in time. We're just giving you enough rope to hang yourself. Ta-ta. Make sure that you guys continue to express what makes you unique.